We're talking about different ways to make music hot, to put some Tabasco on the swing. Well, do you know how some of your friends just have hot, fiery tempers? They're easily angered and start shouting and creating a commotion and a ruckus for the slightest little thing? Well, musicians are that way too. Some musicians are just naturally hotter than others. And since every jazz musician has the opportunity to improvise, everyone develops their personal repertoire of exclamations, expletives, shouts, hollers, cries, moans, and guttural primitive sounds. And believe me, these sounds create some heat. Here's an example of some of them. In jazz, a good one-on-one argument is called a battle, and there have been many great battles in the history of jazz music, all hot. The tenor saxophonist Coleman Hawkins once drove all the way from Kansas City to New York City to confront legendary hothead and genius soprano saxophonist Sidney Bechet. They locked horns in a Harlem nightclub, and the battle ended around 6 o'clock in the morning, and this is after an entire night of blowing. Hawkins quit, and Bechet followed him out into the street, horn held high, still executing razor-sharp, ego-cutting, hot, swinging melodies. In a good battle, each musician tries to outdo the other, phrase by phrase. They play shorter and shorter phrases, getting closer and closer to each other. The perspiration starts to flow, and those who are out of shape are sent home, disappointed, feelings crushed, egos crumpled. We're going to hear some battling on Wycliffe Gordon's The Woogie. Alto saxophonist Charlie Parker and trumpeter Dizzy Gillespie created the ultimate hot music. It's called bebop. They played rhythms and melodies that could make your head spin. They showed us that heat can be created through the speed in which you invent and present ideas. It's like someone who always has a quick comeback. Before you get your line out, bam, they've one-upped you. The speed of response is an important part of the spirit of improvisation. Let's hear some bebop rhythms on one of Charlie Parker's favorite songs, Ray Noble's Cherokee. The most heated thing that could possibly happen to you is to receive or deliver blows. There's nothing in this world hotter than a good fight. That's why the hottest instrument on the bandstand is the one that is beat upon, the drums. If you want to turn the fire up, boy, just let a drummer loose on the drums and cymbals. All of a sudden, the bass player is sweating and mad, loosening his tie. The piano player is pounding the ivory off the keys, and the horn player's chops all hurting and bleeding. All but that drummer. Man, he's just smiling away. You see, he's really just getting started. The drums are actually a group of instruments, and each one of them can be loud. Let's have Mr. Riley proudly demonstrate this. And then when he plays all of them and starts punctuating with the bass drum and the cymbal at the same time, that's thunder and lightning. And there's nothing hotter in this world than lightning. Probably the most powerful drummer that ever lived was the great Art Blakey. He was short and stocky, and when he would play behind you, it felt like you were standing in front of a lion. How does a drummer heat things up? Through the intensity of the groove, meaning all the rhythms are perfectly in sync and feeling just right. This is a song written by Wayne Shorter for Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. It's called Free Fall, and the title lets you know how hot the song is going to be. Perhaps the hottest group of all time was the John Coltrane Quartet. This band featured the volcanic drumming of Elvin Jones and the powerful tenor saxophone playing of John Coltrane. They created intensity with pianist McCoy Tyner's repeated syncopated rhythms. Here's Fareed Barron to show us what McCoy was talking about. These rhythms become even more heated when punctuated by the drums. Here's Herlin Riley standing in for Elvin Jones. The band was anchored by the steady, strong beat of Jimmy Garrison's bass. And when we add the shouting, screaming, crying exhortations of Coltrane to the mix, it's quite hot, brothers and sisters. Quite hot. Let's hear John Coltrane's composition, Impressions.